Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my farm. My name is Flamingo Boot and this is silage harvest. Now, this is a bit of a nod to a popular YouTuber that goes by the name of MrSealyp. And I like his work. He delivers the information in a straightforward manner. He's informative. He's hands-on with the equipment when he's doing mod reviews. He brings this air of excitement when he does map reviews. He's not sort of bland and just talks his way through it. I mean, you can tell he's generally excited when a new map or a new mod comes to console. Now I'm on PC, but yet I still go to him for my source of information on new mods. There are various other YouTubers that I look at for PC mods, but generally MrSealyp is my go-to source because, like I said, he will go out in the fields and test the mods, and that's what I like. I want to see the mods in action. I want to see what they can do. About a week ago, I watched a video of him on an alien gym map, Washoe, Nevada, where he did a silage harvest, and he did like 2.7 million in silage. Crazy amount of work he put in doing that. Now he had some fairly, Nevada has the fairly flat maps. A lot of runoff on the end, so you can turn around and, and he used this method that I'm using right now, this swapping out the trailers. I think he did. He used the Annaberger, which was able to lift and dump into another trailer. I'm fairly certain he used the swap out method. And man, it said it took him 10 hours to do this with some breaks in between. So, and when I say this is a nod to him, he puts a lot of work into his videos, and he's put a lot of work into Farming Simulator 17 and 19, and I've followed him ever since 17, and I really appreciate all he does, all the work he puts in. So, and he did a lot of work on that silage harvest. So, in honor of him, I figured I would bust my butt and match his silage harvest of 2.7 million. Now, my calculations are pretty close, I think. I might be a little more, I might be a little less, I'm not sure. But there you go. There is my first million. Wow. And it's taken me quite a long time to fill this up today. I started at 2 o'clock today, p.m. Eastern time. It's now 10 o'clock at night, real time. Now I've taken some breaks, hung out with the family, had dinner, took a shower, got back at it. I've been pretty steady at it, minus a few breaks. Now, 2.7 million. He did. I think it was 2.7 million. I'd have to go back and rewatch the video. I'm not going to edit this. I think it was 2.7 million. That's a pretty big feat right there, considering how long it takes to do this. And it's not just, hire a helper and go to town. You have to physically put a lot of work in. You have to cut the headers around and then put the dump. You have to ferry these tippers back and forth. And my tipper's a little bit smaller than his. So I got 1 million silage in this bit right here. We'll have a look here. 1 million in silage in just this bit right here. So I'm thinking another 500,000 is going to come out of this field, and I still got field 15 to do. And I'm thinking another million is going to come off of this. 1.2, 1.3 million is going to come off of this field, and 1.4, 1.5 is going to come off of this field. So that'll put me right at where MrSealyp had his harvest, 2.7 million. I could be off a little bit there. I think he put 2 million in the biogas plant, and then he put 700,000 in his own bunker. My bunker is now full. It may not be full, but that's all I'm gonna do there. There's 1 million in silage right there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, field 18 is done. Oh my goodness. Whew. That was rough. That was pretty rough right there. Let me tell you. It took me 2 days. Well, a day and a half. Obviously I slept last night. I woke up this morning. Here it is, 10:33. I got on it 8 o'clock this morning. 8 o'clock this morning. 2.5 hours to finish it up. What I didn't finish up last night. And I've had to repair my header because I noticed I was down to 4 miles per hour. So we're going to go back and we're going to spruce it up a bit and get ready for the next field. And I'll show you. You should be able to do it from here. You should be able to go over offset 5, 6, 7. We're going to run him over at offset 6. I found that's a good one. And we'll push him ahead so he catches up. Turn that off for some reason. And we can set cruise control, and away we go. Now this is fantastic. Now setting headers, I could do the whole field like this, just swinging around. Unfortunately, you could set another follower. You could set that other thing up. Let's do that. Let's do that. So let's see how this works. Oh man, I think that tipper's full, ain't it? See, this is why I had that third tipper, because I was playing around with it. Whatever. Once we dump these out, we'll try it next time, and I'll do it on camera. So basically, you can have that other tipper following behind as close as you can get it, and you can just cruise around until you fill them both up, and then go from there. And then just park the harvester, drive them off to the silo, and it takes a while to get used to this follow me though. It really takes some messing around with it to figure out how you want to do it. And if you're going to hire a helper, you have to have square fields. Absolutely have to have square fields with plenty of runoff so he can turn around. And you have to set the offset fairly large, like 7 or 8, like almost at its max, so he doesn't get in the way of him turning around. So this is working. Sorry, I had to check something real quick there. I didn't mean to do the blackout. Maybe we'll edit that. My wife just bought not Microsoft, Photoshop. Woohoo, I'm excited about that. She's got a bunch of bells and whistles on it to edit video and photos. We've had it before, but she had it on her Mac. She just gave me the key to put it on my Intel. And I'm excited about that. Break out the telescopes. I can get back into telescopes. That's the only reason why. My wife tells me all the time, like, you got that $1,000 telescope over there, why don't you use it? Well, we don't have Photoshop anymore. That's basically it. That was really the only reason why I don't use it, because I have no way to edit my photos to clean them up. Because when you're doing astrophotography, you gotta edit, or else you're just gonna get a bunch of noise in your photos. If you take a look at my stream, I did some things in Photoshop. Some things I used some cut rate processor video. I mean, some cut rate option that didn't work very well. I'm not good at it anyway, so, but the more I play with it, the better I get. All right, so thanks for watching. We'll come back. Oh, we're finished. We'll come back. Control F turns him off. Now he is free to leave, and the harvester can chill right there. We will come back when we've got more done. I'm not going to completely do the whole thing off camera. Once we get these headers set, we'll try the follow me mod with a helper. Alright, so I'm finally done. I have harvested this little field right here to kind of put me over the top. I don't think I'm quite at 3 million. I might be. I have to do the math on them. So I've harvested this field, cut this field down, and I've cut this field right here. Um, and I'm broke. It took every dime that I had to do this. Like, I think I started out with $100,000 or maybe a little less. I'm not sure. I sold a bunch of bales, um, and I have $56 left. And most of that was just mistakes made, renting different equipment, trying to make the job a little easier on me. I didn't really use any helpers unless the Follow Me mod costs money. I use that quite a bit. I don't think the Follow Me mod costs money though. I honestly don't know what happened to all my money. It just all went away. I didn't have much to begin with, I don't think. Let's see. There's some maintenance fees. I never had to buy fuel. The maintenance fees really hit me over the head. Yeah, so as you can see, my wage payment went down as I figured out. What was that? My wage payment went down as I figured out how to properly do this. The 22 grand, I guess, we spent on, who knows, $3,000 in vehicle running costs and $31,000 in vehicle fees. So yeah, I'm down $31,000 today in vehicle fees, running costs, a little bit of helper wage, and like I said, I use Follow Me, not hired helper. So I'm not sure if Follow Me cost. It probably does, because there is a hired helper that's running the truck behind you. Oh man, he is filthy. So before we get started, it says I have 7.5 hours on this device right here. And we'll have a look at, and I didn't use it for anything else. So it took me 7.5 hours to cut all of that down. I'm in the wrong screen. We'll look at the implement. Yeah, so they got about the same, 7.5, 7.6 on the implement. Now that doesn't include hauling the stuff back and forth to the bunkers, because this thing sat idle quite a bit while I hauled these trailers back and forth. Now the trailers say they only have 5 hours apiece on them. So, and I used to Follow Me, so that added, I would say, probably about 2 hours worth of hauling back and forth. So I got to fix some things. First of all, I had some issues with this first bunker that I put down. As you can see, it didn't let me tip in the middle, so there's some sort of collision going on there. So I'm going to have to lease a front end loader and get all this out of this and stick it over here. As you can see, the tip collision is right here too. For some reason, it won't let me tip in this little corner right here. So there is something going on with this area right here, and I had to use the Place Anywhere mod that's part of Global Company. I had to basically download Global Company script to be able to place these objects here, because for some reason, as you can see, the terrain cannot be deformed. There's little spots in this piece of land over here that just wouldn't allow you to place anything. This one just went right down, and like I said, other than that little spot right there, it was perfect, and I could have absolutely put 2 million in this. I ran out of stuff to cut. I absolutely ran out of stuff to cut, and I guess I could have went around and looked for where am I at here? There we go. Could have went around and looked for another cornfield to cut, but I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I don't want to see another forage harvester again. I'm going to sell it. Right now, though, I need to lease that front end loader, so I am going to sell one of these trailers. So we're going to sell this one right here. And that's going to get me 52 grand. 51 is what I got. And let's see here if we lease a front end loader. Let's look at the wheel loader size. You see, the high dump bucket's 3 grand. I don't need. Maybe. What's this one? The high dump bucket. This is the mod. 8 grand. 8,000. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go ahead and lease the big high dump bucket, and we will lease a wheel loader to go with it. Here we go. The Kloss. This is sexy. This is the new mod that just came out a couple days ago. Got 228 horsepower. It's a little low on the horsepower. The New Holland has more horsepower, and it's a little cheaper too. Although we're gonna do the 12 grand. We're gonna lease that. Oh, okay. So you can change the horsepower to. No, you can't. So the horsepower doesn't change, but you can change whatever engine setup on it. That's odd. We'll just lease the stock one. And let's get this over here and get that. Oh, come on. Get out of the way. So we're gonna get that bunker cleaned out beside it and get it tipped into there, because there's 100,000 liters over there. I think I need to get that straightened out. That's missing out right there. It's basically 2 tipper fulls that I dumped over there, maybe even 3. I don't think I totally dipped 3. I might have dumped 3. Definitely dumped 2 over there. And I started realizing, wait a minute, it's not letting me dump in the middle. There must be some sort of collision going on. So we gotta fix that. I really don't like these articulated tractors, but it is what it is. Typically I go with the what are they called? I typically go with the Massey Ferguson little mod that's 25 grand. Cause I use that's a awesome little skid steer. And I don't like the other skid steers in the game because you can't connect the trailer, and they just seem odd. They seem odd to drive. Now I've driven plenty of skid steers in real life. Some Bobcats. I used to work for a guy who had 2 of them. I worked for him for 4 years, and man, that was like one of our best tools was that little Bobcat. I mean, we drove that little thing everywhere. So, okay. This is a new mod, so consider me testing it. And it kind of goes with my tractor here. Oh, excuse me. Had some allergies coming on lately. So forgive me if I seem a little sniffly. I've got some really serious allergies right now. But I want to get this video done and put out. And this will all become clear once again. I briefly touched on it earlier, but why I did this. And man, this was a lot of work. This was not something that I could probably do on a regular basis. For instance, when I first started this farm and I first started doing this, I was like, well, I'll just be a dairy farmer. Because I watch them on YouTube all the time. I mean, they do a lot of this. Like, well, I could just do this. But man, this just took 7 hours. 7 hours of cutting. And another 2-3 hours of delivery. And then now I have to sort this out because for some reason David decided not to put a silo bunker here at the BGA. And if he did, if there is a bunker here and I just can't find it, I'm not going to be happy. But I certainly can't find one. And it might take me a little while to get this squared away. Like I said, there is quite a lot of silage in this, or quite a lot of chaff in this bunker here. I always find it difficult to do the front end loaders in what's it called, first person, 'Cause I can't never tell when the tipper or when the bunker, when the bucket is scrubbing the ground, and I don't like it when it scrubs the ground because then it bogs the tractor down, and I don't know, it's aggravating. It's annoying. This thing has a high dump feature. Yep, there it is. I like it. Oh, I'm also going to sell this bunker here, which it wasn't much. I think it was on like 10 grand. So I'm only going to get maybe five grand out of it. And I could just sell it now and lose the silage, or lose the chaff and not really worry about it. It's not a big deal, but this gives me the 3 million that I need, I believe. And I promised myself that I would do 3 million. Filling in some holes here and there, trying to make it a little more level up top here, because it is a bit uneven. And tipping into these things at this type of level is rough. It is rough. This was a tough job. This took a lot. It took 2 days. 2 days of actually, I think 3 days. I think I started this 3 days ago. Yeah, I think I started it on a Friday around 2 o'clock. And here it is Saturday night. So yeah, two good days. 2 good days, and like I said, the forage harvester read 7 hours. Now that was just cutting time. So and I'll try to cut some of this out so you guys don't have to watch me doing all this. We're actually gonna go quiet for a little while, get this done. We might do a time lapse, or we might just cut it out altogether. This is what I'm doing, So, there it is. It says blanket silo, 100% compacted. Let's have a look here. Let's do some math real quick. Break out the calculator. 1.907 million. 1.9 million. Plus, now we have to travel. I think we got it. That thing was invaluable. And when planting the corn, that little cheap seed tender, that thing was invaluable too. Alright, so open silo. 1.118698 equals 3 million liters. 3.025 million liters. 3 million liters, baby. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? Because I'm sure people have done this before. This is nothing. No, I mean, to me, it was work. I did this because I watched an episode from MrSealyp, Washoe, Nevada, where he did a 2 million liter dump, right? I think was the name of the episode. So he did 3 million liters. He did like 1 million in his own that I guess he's keeping. I don't remember what he did with that. And then he dumped 2 million, which I don't quite have here, but that's irrelevant. I still managed to get the full 3 million liters. All right, so, and we're gonna use the belt system to feed that into the digester here. Why did I do it? Again, I saw him do it. I watched him do a lot of things in this game that I would look at and be like, I'm not doing all that. And I feel like a lot of other people do the same thing. Like, we play the game, we get lazy, we hire helpers, we flip fields. I play a lot of multiplayer. I've been on several multiplayer maps, and that's all everybody does. You look up at the map, it's green. Completely green. Either lime green or like a dark green. Soybean, canola. The occasional sunflower seed. And that's when I join the map. I'll plant till crops. It's like every time I join a multiplayer map, no one is doing till crops. They're all doing cows and sheep and chickens. Nobody's doing pigs. And they're all doing soybeans and canola. Soybeans and canola, and that is it. Over and over and over again. And they all have millions of dollars. And they all have big quad tracks and the biggest plows and not plows, but the biggest equipment. And it's like, you've done, I guess it's a race to get to millions of dollars in the quad track. And now I guess we have this, what is it called? I've lost, the name escapes me. The Steiger? I have two of them. I have two of them. I have this one that's in the official mod hub, and then I have this one that's unofficial. I've had this for a while. They finally made it official, and that made me smile because now I don't have to go digging through some mod file to get it. Now I can just keep it on my main mod folder. This makes me smile that they have this now. I don't use it. I'm not a huge case fan, but if I need to get a big field plowed, I will turn to this beauty right here. Anyways, that's it. I feel like people have gotten complacent in this game. From what I've seen, they do the standard no-till crops and race to $1 million. Nobody's putting in any work. You hire helpers, and the only time you're actually working is when you follow behind the helper with the semi. And the people who do work, I feel like they got these ridiculous mods that make them plow a field the size of the one I just cut in like 15 minutes. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you got a plow that does 12 meters and runs at 20 miles per hour. That's crazy. Harvesters that harvest fields at 30 miles per hour and hold 100 million liters. That's fun and all, and there's a place for that. And there's a place for the boring too, the ones who just do the no-till crops. There's a place for that. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But for the people like MrSealyp who put work into this game, who work hard at showing us what you can do in this game, because there's a lot of things I didn't know you could do until I watched a MrSealyp video, and I was like, wow. Like, for instance, the old stream Farming Simulator 17, where he made millions of dollars cutting trees down. Like, that's something that I might do now. I'm like, wait a minute, if I need money, yeah, I'm always scared of leasing the Ponzi, or whatever it's called. That Scorpion King, scared of leasing it because it's such a high leasing cost. But I mean, if you cut down 100 trees, you're making $500,000. You know, so I did this for him because he puts a lot of work in. He works in this game. Sure, he hires helpers. Who doesn't? But I know you running the forage harvester, hiring a helper is not the most ideal thing to do. And if you go back through some of the footage that I'm going to attach onto this video, follow me mod, hired helpers, they're problematic. You got to turn around, that's aggravating. The follow me mod only works really if you're driving the cutter and you have the follow me guy driving the tipper, because if you put the helper on the cutter and you put a follow me guy on the tipper, he's going to be stuck in the middle of a field somewhere full, right? So you're forced to jump into that truck and kill and destroy crop driving out of the field. So, and it's problematic. It works, and I finally found a nice rhythm, because when I first started, I was using two smallish tippers, and I was doing the MrSealyp method where you attach the tipper to the back of the cutter, and you let him cut the field while you run the tipper back and forth to the silo. And I did this entire bunker like that. And I started thinking to myself, wait a minute, let's get this follow me mod and try that out. And I tried that, and I ended up getting the bigger tippers. It just was a little more smoother. But like I said, it's still problematic. Even the best rhythm that I could get, I still had issues with the follow me mod. So, and it takes a lot to set up, and I went absolutely broke trying to do it. It was just a mess, and it was tough work. It was hard work, and that was the point. I worked hard to fill these bunkers up. I actually worked hard, and I did that because I realized that content creators on YouTube like MrSealyp work hard to show us this game and to bring us content. And I feel like just sitting back and harvesting canola and soybean over and over again, that's not working hard. I'm downloading mods that do crazy harvests to do what? To harvest the field of canola and sell it and harvest it again and sell it and harvest it again. That's why I did this, because guys like MrSealyp who put in a lot of work, they work hard, so I wanted to work hard, and it gave me a whole new perspective on this game, a whole new perspective. I'm still new to Farming Simulator. I just started playing this game a few months ago, and I never knew how hard it was to do something like this. I just took for granted what people like Sealyp would do, you know, cutting down all them trees in Old Stream Farm, or filling up a 2 million liters into a grain or into a bunker silo, or, you know, what he does on his maps. It's ridiculous, and he does it all on the console. I do mine on, I have the computer, so I have access to better resources than he does. It makes you really appreciate the content that someone like MrSealyp puts out. And sir, I salute you. And this was for you. And I challenge anyone out there, and I'm sure you've all done it before when we first started playing this game, but we've gotten complacent, we've gotten lazy. I challenge anyone, and I'll unofficially call this the MrSealyp challenge. 3 million liters. Let's get it done. Come on. And the reason why it's 3 million liters of chaff, because it's not easy. It's not something like you could just get a big old field of grass and set your helper loose. 3 million liters of corn chaff. Let's get it done. You can't just set your helper loose on that. You're going to have to do some work. So anyways, thanks for watching. And on behalf of everyone, I'm sure, thank you, MrSealyp, for all the hard work you do. Putting out the videos, and the rest of the content creators out there, DJ GoHam and all them, and Clutch Simulations. These are the guys I watch, and you guys do a lot, and you've helped me a lot in this game. I just wanted to thank you guys by putting in some hard work. I'm poor, so I can't afford to donate to your channel, but the next best thing I can do is at least show you that, look, I'm not just sitting around being lazy harvesting canola and soybean. I'm putting in work just for you guys, man. So thanks.